Hey, Cypher here. Considering it's coming out soon, I figured we would talk about the real 47 Ronin, and why the movie is clearly off basis. The 47 Ronin is a real event in Japanese history. They have come to exemplify the samurai tradition of Bushido. To better understand them, we have to understand the era they inhabited. Stick with me, cause this is a lot to go over very quickly. The event happened in 1703, firmly in the golden age of the Tokugawa shogunate. Since 1688, the ruling shogun, the highest-ranked samurai and effectively the leader of Japan, had enforced a strict peace. Essentially, Japan had seen unending warfare since the 10th century, and the shogun had taken Japan and stopped the carnage. Of course, honorific fighting never stopped during the Edo period, but full armies clashing against one another was a thing of the past. This, of course, brought on a harsh economic standard for the samurai. Peace is harsh to warriors. Since the borders to the outside country had been closed, the samurai could not benefit from international trade. A subclass of samurai came to represent the samurai who had no master to pay for their livelihood, and in so being, were typically rather destitute. These samurai were known as Ronin. Due to this peace, a more honor-bound samurai class was created. Books like Hagakure spread the teachings of a kind of chivalry that wartime Japan had not seen. This chivalry, in very much the same way of Europe, saw the glorification of past honor while making it vastly more enrooted and strict than what it glorified. This new code is often referred to as Bushido. Now, I have to say that our sources on this are fairly hazy at best, since the 47 Ronin quickly became legendary. I am using the story generally accepted by scholars, which I will include a link in the description. It is doubtlessly riddled with problems, though, but it's the best we've got. What began this event was that a daimyo, the rank below shogun, named Asano Naganori, got into a fight with another daimyo named Kira Yoshinaka in the shogun's palace. This was punishable by death at the time, and so the instigator who drew his sword was ordered to commit ritual suicide, an act called Seppuku, often used as a form of honorable execution. Since he was a daimyo, he had many samurai in his charge. They all instantly became Ronin because of the execution. One of the Ronin, by the name of Oishi Yoshio, quickly fell into a drunken state for a whole year. At one point, a peasant slapped him, pointing out that he was not being honorable. He came to realize his own foolishness, and according to Bushido, he had to avenge his fallen master against Kira. He gathered 46 others to his cause. After a year of planning, they stormed Kira's castle. The 47 Ronin all survived the onslaught, and they had killed 16 and wounded 22 others. But Kira had fled the castle. They managed to track him down, though, and beheaded him with the very dagger that the 47 Ronin's former master, Asano, had used to commit seppuku. One of their number went to spread the message of what they have done, but the rest went to Asano's grave and left the head as an offering. The shogun, furious with the Ronin, ordered them to commit seppuku. The 46 who were available did so, being buried next to their master after the seppuku. The public lauded the 47 Ronin for their revenge killings, and vehemently told the shogun of it. He chose to spare the last Ronin who had finally arrived at his palace. The graves of the 46 who committed seppuku are still there today. Interestingly enough, the man buried next to Oishi is supposedly the man who slapped Oishi during his drunken years, having been happy with what Oishi later did. Now, you've probably noticed by now that the movie seems to have gone way off base. After all, this is a fairly good story anyways, so why change it? Well, that has a much older origin than cinema itself. Yes, there have been more traditionally based versions of this done in the past, and the one done by the Japanese during World War II was a pretty dang good movie, despite being ridden with propaganda. Now, this new movie is closer to the kabuki stories that were told immediately preceding the event itself. The shogun imposed strict suppression measures against the quickly growing legend of the 47 Ronin. Instead of directly telling their story, many subversive writers told their story through grand narratives with magic and gods interwoven into the plot. Many distorted it way beyond recognition in order to get past the censorship of the shogunate. So this movie is probably following the original kabuki theater trend. I haven't seen it yet, so I can only tell from the advertisements. But all this might and magic stuff is not from the actual story, of course. It's interesting to think that Hollywood could actually produce a AAA budget movie on the basis of some old kabuki theater manuscript. They could completely fail at this, they could do fairly well with this, or they could just be completely off base. Hopefully they get the basics of the story in somehow. There's also a lot more nuance to this story that I of course cannot go into in such a short video. But tell me what you think in the comments. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.